everyone, welcome back to another video where today we are going to be discussing BBC's reveal of how much money Doctor Who has generated for the UK economy in their annual report, as well as just the other things they've got to say on Doctor Who, particularly within their annual report, because they're pretty interesting and I think go to show that this show ain't getting cancelled anytime soon. Yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much for the support on the last few videos. They've been absolutely incredible. Subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 25,000 subscribers, and I'd love it if we could do that before the end of this year. But with all of that said, let's get into it. So for those of you who don't know, today was the launch of the BBC annual report for 2023 to 2024. And as you can see, guess what's on the front page? Doctor Who, which is already a good sign in and of itself. The fact that Doctor Who is seen as the big thing for the BBC to put front and centre and essentially boast about when it comes to their performance in the year is already quite a good sign in and of itself. But the signs only get better once we actually read what they said. So I'm taking this mostly from TV Zone. New, BBC praises Doctor Who in its annual report, naming the show as one of its programming highlights of the year. Reveals Doctor Who has contributed £256 million to the UK economy, citing the Whoniverse and Disney Plus deal as transformative. Mentions of Doctor Who in BBC's annual report. During the course of 2023 to 2024, the BBC saw huge audiences for homegrown storytelling in every genre. From Doctor Who, once again the very first thing mentioned, and Planet Earth 3 to Ghosts and the Traitors, we saw unmissable shows drawn from every corner of the UK like Blue Lights, Shetland, Steel Town Murders, and Time. We also launched the Whoniverse, a dedicated home for all shows within the orbit of Doctor Who, letting fans watch over 800 episodes of Doctor Who content all in one place. The fact that that got a dedicated spot on its own, again, is very interesting. I mean, we know, I think, that the Whoniverse overall, so all of the stuff on it, I think equated to about 60 million views on iPlayer in the year since it was launched, I think. Don't quote me on that, I'll have to see if I can double check my sources on that, but I think that's what was said officially. So the fact that that got its own separate segment in this report is a very good sign. The economic impact of Doctor Who, the BBC published an economic report to coincide with the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. Production of the hit series contributed an estimated 134.6 million in GVA to the Welsh economy between 2004 and 2021, and 256 million across the UK overall. GVA, for those of you who don't know, is gross value added to the economy. Moreover, the report found significant legacy impact of the show and commissioned spin-offs Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures, both produced in Wales. Widely acknowledged as the catalyst for investment in the South Wales creative cluster and its specialism in high-end television and drama production, the Welsh screen sector, now the largest of the 5 creative industry subsectors prioritised by Welsh Government, accounted for more than 459 million turnover in 2022. So a couple of interesting things there. Number one, as a Welsh boy, it's really cool to see that Wales is one of the big creation hubs for British content. I think that's really, really good for not only Wales, but also just in terms of like making Wales be more seen on like the world stage. I've always loved that Doctor Who's made here. It's just a really nice feeling, and it makes you feel proud, you know? It makes you feel proud that something made in Wales is going to be seen by all these people across the world. It's a cool feeling. But the other thing I think is interesting is this quote here. Moreover, the report found significant legacy impact of the show and commissioned spin-offs Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures. So interesting that they mentioned Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures here specifically having a legacy lasting impact since they were broadcast. Obviously, if you've ever been to Cardiff, you'll know that Yanto's Shrine still very much exists here. So this seems to me like they're already kind of laying the groundwork for spin-offs, kind of being like, these spin-offs have further helped kind of create this, legacy for Doctor Who, and it seems like they want to do more of that. I think it's very likely that this is kind of them saying, hey, spin-offs also, help out quite a bit. So Yeah, we'll see on that. 256 million economic impact of Doctor Who across the UK. To coincide with the 60th anniversary of the iconic series, Doctor Who, we commissioned a report which outlined the series' economic impact contribution to Wales. Time Lord's home for almost 20 years, the series contributed an estimated 134.6 million in GVA to the Welsh economy between 2004 and 2021. So, interestingly, I'm assuming that both of these figures are basically from 2004 to 2021. Doctor Who made an explosive return to TV screens as two giants of entertainment, the BBC and Disney-branded television, came together to transform Doctor Who into a global franchise for UK audiences and the rest of the world. Under a shared creative vision, they are delivering the quintessentially British show to new generations on an unprecedented scale, as the new collaboration sees Disney Plus become the exclusive home for new seasons of Doctor Who outside of the UK and Ireland. The partners aligned under a bold vision from returning showrunner Russell T Davies, with the show produced in Wales by Bad Wolf, with BBC Studios production. So yeah, that's our first mention of the Disney deal in this document. What I find interesting about it is they mention again it will be the exclusive home for new seasons, and I guess you could say 2 seasons is multiple. But I think that kind of implies that they're in this for the long haul. I mean, I could be completely wrong on that. But also, I think what this report goes to show is that even if Disney drop out, for whatever reason they decide that, it's not worth their time to keep it on the service, it's still making enough money for the BBC to justify keeping it around. Like, I doubt that things like, I'm trying to think of an example of one of the other, big popular BBC shows. Like, for example, The Traitors. I like The Traitors. I doubt it's making this kind of money for the economy. Or The Apprentice, one of my favourite ongoing, BBC, sort of talent show type things. I mean, it's not really a talent show, but you know what I mean? One of those kind of fun challenge shows, one of my favourites. I doubt that's making this kind of money for the UK economy, really. So, I think this is going to be sticking around regardless of whether Disney are here or not, to be honest. Doctor Who celebrated its 60th anniversary in style with 3 one-off specials featuring David Tennant and Catherine Tate in partnerships with British Airways. I forgot about that. As the series debuted on Disney+, Ncuti Gatwa was welcomed as a brand new Doctor with a Christmas special, which was the most watched scripted show on Christmas Day in the UK. Elsewhere for the brand, the touring educational exhibition, Doctor Who Worlds of Wonder, featuring 8 immersive zones combining the worlds of and characters from the series with real life, opened in the UK and moves to New Zealand later in 2024. Content highlights include coverage of Eurovision, Doctor Who anniversary specials, a third outing for Planet Earth from BBC Studios' Natural History Unit, and a series of new feature-length episodes of The Famous Five for the BBC and ZDF made by BBC Studios invested Indie Moonage Pictures. So in short, Doctor Who is pretty much their crown jewel in this annual report. They're basically going on about, how much money it's generated for the economy, how much they value the Disney partnership, how much they, sort of value what Doctor Who brings to the corporation in general. So I think we can pretty much safely conclude from this that Doctor Who ain't going anywhere for the foreseeable future. The very fact that it is at the centre of their annual report, this is the thing that's their peak, their thing that's making the most money, I don't think it's going anywhere. I remember reading a report some years ago saying that the big things that were making BBC money were Doctor Who, and I think Top Gear was the other one, but Top Gear's obviously finished now, so Doctor Who is kind of the main thing that's going to be generating the company revenue, and of course we've got no idea how much the BBC actually make from Doctor Who. We know how much it generates for the UK broadly, but we don't know how much profit they're making from DVD sales, merchandise sales, clothing, sonic screwdrivers, toys, immersive events, etc, etc, etc. They've had so many things, escape rooms. It's probably doing alright, is my point, and I don't think it's going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So I think if you're worried about that, I wouldn't be for now. This seems to very much prove to be, for the time being, Doctor Who is safe. But let me know what you guys think about this annual report. Whatever your thoughts are, drop them down in the comments below. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you later.